Most people would look at the new Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual from Wizards of the Coast as an opportunity to expand their understanding of the beasts that make up the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing experience. Whether it be their new unique descriptions, their challenge ratings, their AC, or their diverse and terrifying legendary actions, the new Monster Manual really is an essential tool for planning and understanding the exciting mechanical intricacies of your enemies. Of course, understanding how to fight these things is what most people would use it for, but not us at Natural 6, and certainly not me. 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 I do not look at these monsters as potential enemies. I do not wish to fight them. I do not delve into the depths of this book and look at a monster's resistances or constitution and think how I can best it in combat. I look at these monsters as a different kind of opportunity, a different kind of dance partner, a partner in love. I look at these things and I think to myself, would I it? And if so, why? And then ultimately, how? So today, thanks to our friends at Wizards of the Coast, I will be going through an assortment of monsters from the new Monster Manual and deciding whether I wish to smash or pass without trace. Quite suggestively and enthusiastically putting the spunk into SponkCon. Let's start with the half-dragon. New to the Monster Manual in this update, the way I look at it, they're half-dragon, half-human, all-lover. We will be smashing the half-dragon quite thoroughly because it's new and exciting, and like any oversexed and underloved dice roller, when I see something new, I need to go there. I need to know what it's like under the hood. I'm locked, I'm lonely, and I'm always down to dragon. I'm just looking to get that worm in me. It won't be an immediate smash, I'm not a savage. I'll grease its scales with some sort of charming foreplay, something that will put it at ease. It must feel extremely self-conscious carrying around all that junk in its trunk. That AC of 18 shows me that they have a hard exterior, but I'm ready to crack this boy and expose its soft, tender insides. I'd find an activity that would put that half-dragon's tail to good use. Make it feel included, something like mini-golf, table tennis maybe, or an evening at the local auction house. Who doesn't want to see a sexy dragon bidding on an antique vase using nothing but its tail to signify an intent to buy? I don't know. I'm clearly unable to correctly comprehend the practicalities of a dragon tail in the real world, but let's not kid ourselves. We all know the half-dragon is here for a good time and not a long time. And it definitely has a temper. This boy is toxic. The arguments would be fierce, but the make-up sex would be mind-blowing. And I'm gonna make sure they use their bonus action to jump all 30 feet straight back into my arms. I will call my half-dragon Dijon, like the mustard, because he speaks with a French accent and I will be taking no further questions. Before you think this is just going to be me talking fervently about all the things I wish to smash, let's move on to something I have an overwhelming dislike of, the grimlock. These ugly, hateful, no-eyed bastards have an AC and HP of 11. I mean, come on! I need a monster that's going to be able to stand up for itself, someone with a bloody backbone. As you can see, I'm a lot of Ben to handle, plain and simple. I think I'd just crush it, intellectually and sexually. Hell, it can't even speak or understand languages. What a waste of my devastatingly charming turn of phrase. Oh, hey, Grimlock, here's a fantastically insightful and somehow unsettlingly funny joke about something to do with bread rolls. Absolutely lost on him. While its weapon of choice, the bone cudgel, is notably tempting, their lack of eyes makes them an instant turn-off. I'm sorry, but blind sight just ain't gonna cut it. And don't give me that sob story about suffering radiation at the hands of the Mind Flayer. I'm looking for a uniquely alluring romantic partner, not emotional admin. I want, nay, I deserve someone to verbally spar with at regular but not inconvenient intervals. Someone to dabble in a cryptic crossword or two, maybe even play the iconic TTRPG Dungeons & Dragons with. That's just not happening with the Grimlock. It would probably hurt itself just lifting up the dice. And don't get me started on how underwhelming the roleplay would be. I would avoid its eyeless gaze completely and pass without trace. Now we move on to the Graveyard Revenant, vengeance from beyond the grave. And before you instantly declare yucky yuck yuck gross, I'm not into philia of the necro kind, no way. Please, hear me out. A whole writhing mass of souls brought back from the brink in unison, intent on using their suffocate attack on you all at once. It's not just a date, it's a trip to your local cemetery, thrillingly putting your keys in a bowl and praying you make it out alive, except in this disturbing mental image, all the other keys are one giant jumble of keys and everyone is driving in the same car home, like a clown car, but everyone's dead. Hot! This is the most self-assured polycule in the D&D universe. They have one job, and in this twisted fantasy, it's about ripping you apart, baby. Picture the scene. You're in a crypt somewhere, smashing back room temperature sambucas like the absolute thought you are. And before you know it, you're being touched up and down by a chorus of undead entities, and all they want is to strangle you to death. They can't be stunned, so don't be scared to dig in and get your hands dirty. And they're not looking for attachment. They die when their mission is fulfilled, so no one is calling cabs or making awkward conversation over breakfast in the morning. They're also resistant to psychic damage, so can't be gaslit or ghosted. They know their worth. If your idea of a good time is being manhandled, scratched, and strangled, the Graveyard Revenant is going to be the most efficient and sexually charged smash of your life. This isn't romantic. This is necromantic. Okay, now we've found ourselves staring straight down the barrel of the idealized embodiment of the human form. The Empyrean, human-shaped beings with godly power. They are undoubtedly the most aesthetically pleasing entities you could possibly lay your eyes on. They're the D&D world's version of Victoria's Secret models, and/or me when I got that bunny ears camera filter on. So cute. And I know what you're thinking. These guys smash, surely. But do they? Look at those numbers. AC 22, HP 346, challenge rating 23. Those stats don't say DTF to me. They shout passenger princess. They scream talentless Nepo baby. They whisper, no one is good enough. They have an astronomical plus 19 to initiative, so they always insist on going first in everything. What's that? You rolled a 17? Well, that plus 3 modifier just isn't going to cut it in this verbal back and forth. They rolled a very average 13. But that trust fund modifier means you've got to listen to them harp on about something to do with après-ski and why we should all just crypto, my guy. That's all before you have a chance to ask a single question. And to top it off, their shockwave of glory attack has the ability to knock you prone. Of course it does. These patronizing snobs will do anything to put you down. That's a hard pass without trace from this salt of the earth singleton. Now, let's shift gears and examine the horned and hooved revelers themselves, the satyr. Of course we're smashing these things. We will be smashing them hard, and we will probably be dining out on the experience for the rest of our lives. The way I see it, the satyr is the ultimate furry fantasy. A purebred party animal that's all fuzz from the waist down and all from the waist up. Let's look at the evidence. It says here that they enjoy demonstrating their physicality, which is Monster Manual speak for pure power top. With a plus 7 to acrobatics, the satyr revel master can and will rattle any headboard it cares to rut up against. There's always going to be a flip side to these things, and I don't see the satyr as a long-term prospect. Your mileage may vary, but the fact that they play music will eventually grate. There's only so many times I can hear Vanessa Carlton played at double speed on a secondhand theremin they found in their stepmother's attic. How much party is too much party? You decide. The smash is happening either way. A bit of advice on the smash, I see them as a midlife crisis waiting to happen. So you want to get in and out before they enter their home microbrewery Stone Circle era. But for a seasonal fling and the ride of your life, you'll never forget the magical messy mount that is the satyr. The ancient gold dragon is the equivalent of your best friend's hot parent. You'll only be smashing this in your mind. Empty the wank bank and fill it up with those impure thoughts, because unrequited love is the dish of the day, and you will forever feast on the scraps of the what if of it all. You've yearned for them for years. They're seductively older than you, and that seasoned maturity makes everything they do extra hot. The Monster Manual tells us that they can now cast spells like Zone of Truth, which is no surprise to anyone because your entire life you've never been able to lie to them, and their use of weakening breath explains why they regularly have you shaking at the knees, even though they've probably just asked you a very boring question. How's the internship going, Ben? It's going fine, Philip, I say, creaming myself. Thanks for asking. Is that a new mauve quarter-zip top you're wearing? It is, he says, to which Philip the ancient gold dragon smiles, and we continue the journey in silent, sticky shame while we listen to his best of Nora Jones Spotify playlist in his second-hand Toyota Yaris. You think to yourself, you're all grown up and they still got it. You know what? It never left. And while you know they've got their legendary action, Pounce, just waiting to be unleashed, you recognize that deep down, it'll never be on you. It was never meant to be. Sometimes things are better left unsmashed. When it comes to vampires, there's a historical allure that can never be avoided, and I'm not gonna come in here all contrarian and tell you why I shouldn't smash one. No self-respecting Tumblr girly would let me live it down. Of course we're going there. We must. These blood-sucking lords of the night are the ultimate 2 a.m. hey you up booty caller. You're tired, bothered, and halfway through a carton of double cream you had an intrusive midnight craving for. But you can't help it. They're just so damn charming and mechanically beguiling. So in answer to their text, yeah, you up. And at least they asked. They only come round if you specifically invite them because consent is sexy to them, as it should be for everyone. Their uncompromising allure allows you to forgive a few surface-level imperfections. Their fear of running water makes it highly likely that this particular late-night caller who now lies prostrate on your upcycled chaise longue honks like a goose. But nothing distracts someone from poor personal hygiene more than the ability to turn into a cloud of mist at will. And they will, for you, for love. It's a smash. And now the abominable yeti. It says in the monster manual, huge monstrosity, and its profile picture is giving nothing but. This lad likes to lift. But what lies beneath these rock-hard abs? I'm gonna be real. Absolutely nothing. It's chilled, emotionally unavailable, and you will always play second fiddle to the gains. You've sent an I miss you message, and you're getting 10 near-identical images of his lats in return. What a boring muscle the lat is in isolation. It's like a human fin. And we don't need a fin. Many of us can't even swim. I threw a boy in a pool once, and he basically drowned. He didn't use his human fins. His human fins were completely useless. The law says it was my fault, but I say it was him using his lats incorrectly. Come on, Scotty, use those human fins. You can't, because you're a coward. 6 months in prison for that. This yeti, I'm calling him Blake, insists on pumping before any photo. All I wanted was a romantic selfie of our trip to a charming matinee showing of the electrifying musical Starlight Express. And instead, what I got was Blake doing press-ups on the floor during the pre-dinner menu at Coke Brasserie. Completely put me off my moule frite. It says here that they're afraid of fire. So, a romantic candlelit dinner is completely off the menu. What you will be guaranteed, however, is a mediocre fumble with the big light on, which we all know is completely psychotic. Sidebar, if anyone you know insists on keeping the big light on, they absolutely know where the bodies are buried. Also, their chilling gaze is evidence that they are almost guaranteed to ghost you at some point. And you didn't even like them. So why do you feel bad? Pass without trace. Don't get me wrong. Based on the profile picture, this particular dryad would absolutely get it. And they know they would. With that kind of confidence, they've probably received it many times before, and definitely on their own terms. This one is all about taste, and I'm not going to judge. You put it where you want, but let me be very clear. This is a tree. It's a very sexy tree. Look at that ass and that hair. Blossom. Oh, stunning. But splinters are and always will be a very real and present danger. That's not to say that emotional connections aren't always possible, but bring protection. And by that I mean tweezers. But what draws my eye more than anything is a little spell called Entangle. We're getting tied up, folks, and we're going to insist on it. It says here it can cast it once a day, but all I'm hearing is all day. We're not going to be in a rush to untangle ourselves in this context. Wood is a good thing. But the safe word is arboretum, and you know they will. I'd advise you to know your own boundaries, because the foundation of any healthy BDSM relationship is agreeing where to draw the line. Side note, these things can and will speak with beasts and plants. So if you're uncomfortable with the entire natural world gossiping about how much you are willing to take, then I'd approach it with caution. Me? I want them to know. I want to never make eye contact with my best friend's collection of exotic cacti ever again. Smash. Well, there you have it. An irresponsible misuse of a wonderful role-playing tool. The brand new Monster Manual is out now, so make sure you pick up yours today. With hundreds of monsters to choose from, everything is fair game. It's time to pull out your dagger, draw your bow, and summon that demonic entity if you're into that sort of thing, and join the fun. And when you do, why not let us know in the comments below what you would smash or pass without trace? And more importantly, how you do it. Because the devil's in the detail, and we love a good f***ing tell. Wait. Why'd you bleep that out? I said the word f***. Why are you bleeping it? Wait, so if I can catch you out. There, you got me. Spoon! See? Didn't. Got you. Got me.